Yesterday I had mentioned about dropping some of those boulders as I was bringing them up the hill for the guard, and I was going to drop some of the boulders that might be good for the fire pit up here, but I worked till like 4 or 5 o'clock last night and didn't have a chance to kind of lay out the fire pit, so I'm going to do that now. So basically I'm just going to smack a stake right around where Dana and I want the center of the fire pit, and then I'm going to see what the distance is, maybe about 15 feet around, and then try and get an idea of what's level, so that when I bring the machine up here, not only can I drop some of those boulders that might be good for this area, I can maybe just use the machine to kind of scrape back and level off some of the fire pit area before I kind of start setting the rock. So I thought I'd set the camera up and bring you guys along. Let's get rocking, baby. So that's about maybe 16 feet, which looks kind of nice because I'll try and set the rocks on the inside once it's all leveled out. So that'll probably eat up 2 feet when it's all said and done. That'll leave us 14, maybe like a 3 or 4 foot fire pit. Plenty of room to sit around it. I'm gonna grab the site level to see how far off I am. It's probably only about 1.5 feet maybe, but we'll just double check to make sure. Let me show you. All right, so here is the 16-foot circle. And then basically what I do, I'm not exactly, Mr. Awesome with the site level, but I'm just make some marks in footage as to how much either needs to be added or taken away. So up here it's, minus 2 feet, minus 1.5 feet, minus a foot. And down there, it's almost plus 2 feet. That would be obviously the difference. So I'm not quite sure if I'm actually going to build this up or I'm going to keep it level with what is on the ground, and I'll just use some rocks to kind of build a small wall on the bottom side and then maybe feather in a little bit of dirt on the back side of that. But this is the general idea of the pit. I'll come back with the machine and basically start cutting away here. And I don't know if I'm just going to cut it away and take the dirt or if I'm actually just going to try and flatten this area off. We'll kind of see once I get started, but that's the general idea. Now I'm basically going to use the machine to go down and start pulling some of these bigger rocks and either dropping them over in the garden or dropping them up around the corner for the accessory building. Once I put the frame around the accessory building, I'll be able to actually add some of these rocks. Right now they can't go on because I don't want it to be too high for when I set the frame. So we'll see what's up, and then basically outside this orange circle I'll just drop some of the small rocks that I think will be usable to kind of build a retaining wall on this back side right here. Then we'll just make a pit out of something, fill this back, or backfill this with some rock, and we'll have a nice little fire put out here for when the deck is all done and when we're hanging out. Let's dig, baby. we'll see how much I can get on tape today. I was going to take a few short videos from my dad. So when I turn the camera off, I'm going to do that first. Then I'll start the machine up and we'll just go from there. And as always, man, I'll capture what I can capture. We'll take a quick walk over to the fire pit before I turn the camera off. I'll show you guys where I sort of left off. And I always apologize. I feel like after I watch the video, I feel like I had the camera in an awful place that day. It probably would have been cooler if it was pointing back the other way, so you could have seen me kind of cut into the pit and kind of pull back and level off. But this is where we're at. So you can kind of see I ended up maybe about 16, 18 inches in the back, whereas I really wanted to be closer to like 22. So I kind of had to make up for it a little bit on this side by leveling it out, which was fine because as I was dragging the dirt over, it was sort of building this area up anyway. But that's where I kind of am. It's a 16-foot circle. You know, the stones average like about a foot or so, maybe a little bit more. And we'll put like a nice little fire pit in the center, rock the rest of it out. And then what I'm gonna do, I think, is take this nice big, about 3-inch flat rock, and I'm gonna set it right here in the grass and on that stone. And then there'll be another step, and that'll be a way to kind of get down into the fire pit once you come off the deck. But that's where we're at. Hopefully I can find a couple pieces to finish off this back portion. This one that I have right here is just sort of leaning. But if I can get that all squared away, that'll make me feel good. I'll have some decorative rock drop, maybe some of the multicolored tibble that I had dropped last year for the side of the house. I think that would look nice down there. And when you're putting like your camping chair or something to sit, or even a stump or something, you can kind of wiggle it and set it real nice rather than do like a modified where it'll turn into concrete. But that's where we're at. I'm gonna start everything up and see how much I can get done in another day. Catch you guys in a little bit. I swear every single time I turn the camera on, I think I accidentally turned it off. The times that I had it on, it was sitting in the sun, so it shut itself off. So you didn't get to really see me lay much of any of the rock, but I assure you, I'm tired. But I'm gonna go back and kind of fill in the back with some dirt, and then in some of the corner pieces, I'm gonna set some flat top rocks, and then just kind of tidy up around. And then right around here, I'm gonna try and set this big flagstone rock as like a stepping stone down into the pit, so we'll see how it makes out. Pretty excited how it turned out. I'll be more excited when all the rock is in there and spread around. We'll put the fire pit, we'll be able to kind of hang out. So the sun's just popping out. I figured I might as well get started. It's about maybe 40 degrees and maybe about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So hang out and we'll get that rock up there, down in here. I don't think Dayna and I were really necessarily ready to just bang out a fire pit, but because we were lucky enough to have my buddy's excavator here while we're working on clearing the garden and finishing the accessory building base, I just kind of figured to take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm excited because it's just another project done, and this pretty much means that Dayna and I can crack a beer tonight, sit down, and have a fire. So as always, man, we appreciate you guys stopping by the channel and checking out all the videos. I hope you enjoyed this fire pit. I have a feeling that you're going to see it a ton more in future videos. But until next time, everybody stay fly, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Now it's back to work on the garden. Catch you guys in a little bit.